Hi friends, I'm Miss Kat. I'm one of the STEM educators at Boys and Girls Club, and today I want to teach y'all how to make your own miniature water cycle. So first, I want to talk about what is the water cycle. The water cycle is how the water gets from our lakes up into the sky, and then how it rains back down, and then it keeps doing that over and over again. Because that is how we get water on Earth, and that is how we get water into the sky, so then it can keep coming down. And so today I want to show y'all a way to remember this water cycle and the 4 stages of it, and a really easy little craft project. So let's get started. So all you're going to need for this project is a paper plate, markers, I have crayons, a single strip of paper, and then a stapler. And I think that should be it. What we want to do first is we want to grab our plate and we want to draw a line halfway across. So I'm just going to draw a line literally just right across like this, okay? And then I want to draw a 1/4. So I'm going to draw a line from here to the end. And so I have something that looks like this, all right? And so what I want you to draw in this one is water. It could be a lake, it could be an ocean, whatever, as long as you can tell that it's a body of water. And this one is going to be land. And then up here, you can draw clouds. So I'll give you some time to do that. All right, now that I have my plate, I have my water here. Then on the other quarter, I have my land. Then above it, I have some clouds. I made the cloud above the land rain. And then I put some up arrows here, and I'll explain in just a sec why I did that. Let's talk about why I put it in this order and what are the stages of the water cycle. This stage, the body of water, that is when we have the most amount of liquid water available for us and that is on land, and that is called accumulation. And so that is the first stage of our water cycle. The next stage is evaporation. Evaporation is when the liquid water transforms into water vapor in the air because the water is heated and therefore it changes states of matter. And so it goes from liquid to a gas up in the clouds. The third stage of the water cycle is condensation, and that is these clouds. And that is when the water vapor that came from here during evaporation, the water vapor is then condensed and then transformed back into liquid water when it's up in the clouds. And then the next and final stage of the water cycle is precipitation. And that is when there's so much liquid water just stored up in the clouds that it becomes too heavy and then it falls back down onto the earth. And you can see I have the liquid water from the precipitation coming here. And when it comes to the earth and then it collects back into bodies of water such as streams, creeks, oceans, rivers, anywhere near, where you live. And then it becomes accumulation again. And then the whole water cycle starts back over. So now what I want you to do with your piece of paper, I want you to write those 4 stages of the water cycle. And then I want you to either staple or tape it onto the correct spot of your water cycle map. So I've made my labels. Here's my first one: accumulation, evaporation, condensation, and then precipitation. And then I'm going to put them in the appropriate places on the plate. All right, I have taped my labels on here. So accumulation, evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and all the way back. And now I'm going to add an arrow that we are going to use to spin around. So what I want you to do, I want you to draw an arrow like this, and then a little rectangle on the side like this. And so when I finally glue it on here, it's going to want to show us the direction that it goes in. And so when I get it attached, and I'll show you in a sec how to do that, it will get to flip around and show you how it goes through the water cycle. I have my arrow facing to my right. So I'm having it face to my right and then the little stick underneath. So I cut it out and then I'm gonna lay it there and then I'm gonna go get my stapler. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to grab my stapler and I'm going to just staple it so that I have a ready-made staple that came out. What I'm going to do with that, I'm going to bend one of the sides so that it looks like this. Now I'm going to put it at the end of my little arrow. Have it like this, have it secured in there. And now I'm going to poke a hole in the very center of my plate. If you need to grab a pencil to kind of make a hole in it, that is perfectly okay. I have a hole in there. I'm going to stick my staple through, and then I'm just going to go on the back side and then bend it so that the arrow stays. And so now I have something like this. Wow. All right. So now I can see the stages of my water cycle now that I've learned, and I can see what direction they go in. So that is all I have for y'all today. So I hope you learned something, and now you have a little water cycle map. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.